Only 6 drivers are left to take on the elevation trail at Freezie500. Last time, 4 of the 6 racers put up enough points to secure second round passage. Tonight, we will find out who the top 18 moving into the next round will be. There are no guarantees for anyone with less than 21 points, but for those yet to race, the bar is set. I'm your host 905, and this is the Freezie500 from Freezie500. Racer number 1 tonight stowed away on the other Q Cluster's driver's ship. She is not only Blank's biggest fan, but she idolizes everything about the premier driver. And despite being rejected by her idol on several occasions, Blink will do anything to ensure Blank is victorious. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Coming from the same planet as Jay Arett, A. Schley is Aret's biggest rival. Neither of them could agree on who would best represent the planet Way, so they showed up together, in separate ships, with different crews. They don't say much to each other. In fact, there seems to be an uncomfortable silence that hangs over this pair whenever they're around. The last racer in this group has taken a leave from his platoon with the new Resistance fighters, as the Techmortal threat has fallen silent after the events on Earth. This pilot is no leaf on the wind, though. He's a downright spear through the chest, and no power in the verse can stop him. Here's Commander Puff driving Serenity. Heat 9 is ready. Race 1 goes now. Kudos to these drivers for making the lap, because this was a sloppy lap. I don't know whether it was nerves or what, but Puff gets into Blink right out of the gate. A. Schley hits the jump first, but misses a shift or something, and she's into the wall and slowly crosses across the line, but she crosses the line, followed by Commander Puff, followed by Blink. First job's done. Looks like those nerves have settled a little bit, as it's a little bit of a cleaner start getting out of the gate. Puff still gets into the wall along with Blink, but they hit the jump with Puff hitting it first. Everybody's landing's a little rough, but look at A. Schley. She actually does a full barrel roll before getting it back on all fours. That was actually pretty cool. Puff gets across the line first, followed by Blink, and A. Schley backs her in for 9 points. Commander Puff can't be too happy with that, as the gate drops and Blink taps him right out of the gate. Maybe she was a little upset that she didn't get first in the last lap, but unfortunately that tangles everybody up and Puff comes out worse for wear. Schley and Blink crawl to a stop, and that's the end of that. And if these scores don't underline just how balanced this group was, it looks like each driver has done just enough to make it into the next round. With 25 points apiece, they have each clinched a place in the next round. James Ironbeard is still on the bubble at 21, and there's only 3 drivers left. Heat 10 shouldn't disappoint. This racer is the lone survivor from the frozen planet of Base Lao, a world destroyed by the Techmordians. A federated off-planet engineer by trade, this driver roams the galaxy seeking revenge. Kraitao Mungif races the Base Lao bomber, which was built from recovered space junk, which might explain the green stuff emanating from its core. As always, Marvin the Martian is looking for an earth-shattering kaboom. However, he's just a little late as Techmoro kind of beat him to it. He was the final driver to arrive in Verlasia, but he's looking to leave his mark on the competition. Let's hope that Acme Particle Space Modulator doesn't malfunction and send us all up in a cloud of comical black smoke. The last driver of the opening round also hails from Farrakhan, yet has no information associated with him. He is a mystery. What will be this driver's role in the upcoming race? We aren't sure if he's associated with Mr. Dark or not, but the fact that this driver seems to have no name and no number, we've just dubbed him Unknown. This is it. Where will these drivers land on the leaderboard? Heat 10 goes right now. Keitao goes after Marvin right out of the gate. He gets into his rear quarter and sets him for a loop right before the jump, but Marvin is crafty. He's able to throw it into reverse after the jump. Keitao spins out, and Marvin still wins the lap. Marvin's not messing around here. You know he wants this. The gate drops and Unknown kind of gets into him a little bit. Marvin pushes right back. Right to the jump, Marvin is just out front and pushes Unknown right into the way of Keitao. Marvin wins the lap, followed closely by Unknown. And that's 2 for 2 for Marvin. Well, I guess Keitao wasn't impressed with the antics of lap 2 because he goes right after Marvin, who then gets into Unknown. Everybody kind of spins out at the jump. Unknown doesn't land it correctly and stalls out. And that is it for lap 3. And how's that for a finish? Marvin and Unknown punched their tickets to the next round, while Keitao unfortunately just couldn't contain the leak and runs out of, well, everything by the looks of it. The big board looks like this. 17 of the top 18 spots are filled for round 2. However, James Ironbeard and Jay Arrett are both sitting at 21. So what we will do next week is have them run off for that 18th spot. 2 laps, most points takes 18th place. The excitement never ceases here at the Elevation Trail, and although we will have to wait until next week to find out who will take that 18th spot, we do know one placing that is absolute. The elephant in the room is who's going to relay the news. First off, race officials need to locate the driver as he's been MIA since his heat. And second, Strange things have been happening around the paddock, and it's got everybody on edge. That's it for us here tonight from Freezie500 at the Elevation Trail. Throw us a thumbs up and a comment if it's not too much trouble. I've been your host, 905. Thank you for watching, and for the love of diecast, keep racing. So, who's gonna tell him? You gonna tell him? I ain't gonna tell him. I'm not gonna tell him. Somebody's gotta tell him. So who's gonna tell Mr. Dark? I'm not gonna tell him. Are you gonna tell him? Somebody's gotta tell him.